This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Excelsior High student stabbed and hospitalized. A student from the Excelsior High School on Mountain View Avenue in Kingston has been hospitalized after a stabbing incident at the institution on Wednesday. A video clip of the altercation between the schoolboys has been making its rounds on social media. The student, who is said to be in grade 11, was reportedly stabbed 3 times in front of the school's gates. Calls to Excelsior High School by the news went unanswered. This is the third such incident involving students this week. On Wednesday, a student, Kenyut Williams, 15, was killed during an attempted robbery of his cellular phone on Ligoni Avenue. On Monday, a William Knibb High School student in Trelawney was stabbed to death by another, reportedly over a guard ring. His 16-year-old classmate has since been taken into police custody. The police confirmed that they have the ring and the murder weapon in their possession. 16-year-old suspect held in murder of Papine High student. Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, head of the Constabulary's Corporate Communications Unit, says a 16-year-old boy has been taken into custody in relation to the murder of a Papine High School student on Wednesday. The student, Kenyut Williams, 15, was killed during an attempted robbery of his cellular phone. The suspects are also children, and all because he had a cell phone they wanted, Lindsay said in an interview. SSP Lindsay also cautioned individuals to put their phones away when walking on the streets so as not to attract unwanted attention. There are these youngsters out there who are deliberately targeting people because they want to rob them of these cell phones. Lindsay says the police are also seeking another suspect in connection with the matter. Jamaican first-grade teacher on meta charges in the U.S. A Jamaican first-grade teacher in the U.S. was arrested last week, Friday, and charged with trafficking methamphetamine, according to the Fayetteville Police Department. Antonisha Chambers, 34, was charged with trafficking by possession, trafficking by transport, and maintaining dwelling for the purposes of narcotics and a conspiracy, the release stated. Chambers teaches first grade at the E. Melvin Honeycutt Elementary School on Lakewood Drive in Fayetteville. Chambers, who was in the USA on a visa, is reportedly participating in an exchange visitor program where teachers are sponsored for placement K-12 in public, private, and charter schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. She was arrested alongside Bradford Gordon. He has been charged with trafficking by possession, trafficking by transport, maintaining dwelling for the purposes of narcotics and a conspiracy, according to the release. Gordon is also in the U.S. on a visa. Detectives seized more than 4 pounds of methamphetamine during the investigation, the release said. Chambers was hired by Cumberland County Schools on August 8, 2021, according to the system. Chambers is still listed as a first-grade teacher on the school's website, but will not be allowed to return to the campus. St. Catherine South Police list 8 persons of interest. The St. Catherine South Police have listed 8 men as persons of interest. Police detectives believe the men may be able to assist with their investigations into several incidents in the division. They are Sanjay Dixon, otherwise called the Sadiki Blacks and the Black Man; Dimitri Morgan, otherwise called the Boxhead; Rohan Brown, who also goes by the name Richard William, otherwise called the Teacher, Addy, and Troy; Anthony Brown, otherwise called the Big Red; Mark Perry, otherwise called the Sharky, and Noah, otherwise called Badaboom. Men known only as Weak Smoker and Max. They are being asked to report to the Greater Portmore Criminal Investigation Branch by midday Thursday, March 24. Anyone knowing their whereabouts is asked to call the Greater Portmore Police at 876-949-8403, 119 Police Emergency Number, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Innswood staff protest over unremitted NIS and NHT deductions. Dozens of teachers and members of staff at the Innswood High School in St. Catherine this morning protested at the Old Harbor Road intersection with Heartland Road. The demonstrators were protesting the deduction of 9 years of National Insurance Scheme and the National Housing Trust taxes from their salaries, which they claim were not paid over by the school. The protesters say they have applied to the NHT for the returns, only to be told that the deductions were not handed over. Likewise, they say checks with the NIS office have revealed that no deductions were forwarded to the agency. The administration of the Innswood High School declined to comment immediately. The staff is now meeting with the personnel from the Education Ministry. Former Haitian senator to be extradited to the U.S. Former Haitian Senator Joseph Joel John, a person of interest in the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, has consented to be extradited to the United States. The extradition application was brought before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Thursday by Senior Deputy Director of Prosecutions Jeremy Taylor. Your Honor, this is a matter of the request for extradition of Joseph Joel John, a citizen of Haiti, to the United States, Taylor said, adding that a provisional warrant of arrest was issued for John on Tuesday by virtue of the extradition treaty between the U.S. and Jamaica. He also noted that under this treaty, the U.S. has 60 days to provide evidence of the supposed crime. Taylor made it clear in court that only John is required to be extradited. Before signing the written consent, John expressed his concerns about leaving his family behind. However, through an interpreter, it was explained that he will not be sent to the U.S. immediately. Senior Parish Judge Lorian Cole Montague advised John to prepare himself to be extradited after the written consent was handed to her. She also said she can appreciate a man having a concern about leaving his wife and the children. After the situation was explained to her in detail, John's wife, Idumi, was observed with an asthma inhaler in hand and hyperventilating. John, his wife, and the 2 children were arrested in southeast St. Elizabeth on January 20. His family have since applied for asylum in Jamaica through the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, the application pending a response from the Permanent Secretary's office in the Ministry of National Security. It was revealed that the Permanent Secretary is not in the country. Meanwhile, Cole Montague commended the police officers for their care of John's 7-year-old son, who was seen sleeping on the laps of the officers. The JCF has some good aunts and uncles, Cole Montague said, noting that there is still kindness in the justice system. The family is to return to court on April 5 for the decision regarding refugee status from the Permanent Secretary's office. Moïse was killed on July 7 when a hit team invaded the presidential residence and shot him dead. His wife, Martine, was wounded but survived. Judicial police have questioned at least 21 presidential guards who were present on the fateful night. Bank taxi operator and a passenger killed in Westmoreland. Gunmen struck in Westmoreland on Wednesday night, leaving a man and a woman dead. Residents of Nampriel Road in Negril say they heard explosions about 10 o'clock and called the police. The 2 bodies, which had bullet wounds, were found beside a motorcycle. Investigators say the man was a biker taxi operator and the woman was a passenger. No motive has been established for the attack. Man accused of murdering common-law wife remanded. Elroy Griffiths, who is accused of murdering his common-law wife Maureen Johnson 2 years ago, was remanded when he appeared in the Portland Parish Court on Tuesday. He is due back in court on April 21, when a committal hearing will be held. Mr. Griffiths went on the run after Miss Johnson was killed in Buff Bay, Portland. Investigators reported that the 50-year-old woman's throat was slashed and her house was set ablaze on August 20, 2019. Mr. Griffiths was held by the security forces during a raid in Hope Bay, Portland on January 18 this year. How alleged child abductor Davian Bryan wept as he surrendered. Suspected child abductor Davian Bryan arranged his surrender to the police and wept as he was apprehended, a family member has claimed. Carrie-Ann Bryan, a sister of the accused, described how she led the cops to her relieved brother in a bushy area in Durham District, Portland, ending a near 5-month manhunt by the police and the residents across 2 parishes. Him say him no sleep since October and a long time he want go in, she told the news. Carrion Brand also praised the cops for the way they treated her brother. Them no rough him cause he was cooperating. Him no give them no trouble so them deal with him good, she said. Davian Brand has been on the run since last October when he was suspected by the police and the residents of abducting 2 girls aged 9 and 13 in the St. Thomas community of Bath. Bryan is facing charges in the Portland Circuit Court for rape and illegal possession of a firearm. He had been on bail. The police, through its official Twitter account, reported that Davian Bryan was captured during an intelligence-led operation. His sister said late Wednesday evening she got a telephone call from her brother indicating that he was in Durham and wanted to turn himself in. Him say me fi come for him, she told the news on Thursday. Carrion said she made arrangements with 3 cops she trusted and led them to the bushy area in Durham. Him tell me to come in at the light and make him see me first, she recounted. Then when I went into the light, him run come and hug me up. John Jacobs, the attorney representing Davian Brand, said he is waiting to hear how the police will treat the child abduction allegations. There are multiple allegations now, and so we have to contact the police because they will have to decide how they are going to treat the different cases, Jacobs told the news. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.